million of boys and girls and adolescents around the world who are not in school, who are not being educated, a situation which has been worsened by the healthcare crisis. I am convinced that society's capacity to overcome the complex challenges we must grapple with must include education for our children, our young people. The Secretary General's initiative to agree on a new global social contract should be reflected thus, given the serious impact of the pandemic on schools and education. It should be reflected thus in an initiative to universalize education. Women and girls account for half of the world's population. They are a strong, determining force with creative capacity, labor potential, economic and spiritual potential, which must be unlocked for our societies. The new global social pact must be a leap forward in the effective exercise of rights for women. These are human rights, and they should go beyond recognition. They should be effectively enjoyed at all levels, local, regional, national, and worldwide. We must establish specific and concrete gender equity. We must eliminate all legal, social, and economic obstacles that hinder the empowerment of women and girls. We must fully guarantee their rights and eliminate all social practices and norms which are discriminatory against women. My government will do so. Peru, Mr. President, is thereby linking its national agenda for social development with the priority agenda of the United Nations, with the common goal of applying and achieving Agenda 2030. It is time to put forward the social component in international relations and to commit ourselves to all actions, initiatives, and resources of the United Nations being used for the fulfillment of the Sustainable Development Goals. Social diplomacy is not just a national requirement, it is a global imperative. Mr. President, human action without respect for nature has led us to question the viability of the planet. Fighting climate change calls into question our consciences. Limiting increases of the temperature between 1.5 and 2 degrees, which is a goal that was set forth in the Paris Agreement, is a commitment in its very viability. Meanwhile, desertification continues to clear forests, especially in the Amazon, and the effects of climate change are increasingly devastating. The time has come to rethink our activities to achieve sustainable development in harmony with the planet, with a view to bequeathing a habitable world for future generations. Those countries that most pollute should imperatively meet their obligations. Peru has taken on the goal of becoming a country which is carbon neutral by 2050 and reducing greenhouse gases from 30 to 40%, thereby respecting what was projected for 2030. As an expression of its commitment to the health of the planet, my government will declare the national climate emergency. This assembly once more will be debating the very serious problem of terrorism. Peru has suffered from violent terrorism and has been able to prevail. We are aware of, reject, and condemn terrorism in all of its forms, and we support any action to fight it. We are committed to the global strategy of the United Nations against terrorism. Terrorism can never be a means for social transformation. Violence only leads to destruction, violations of human rights, and victims who are the poorest and the most dispossessed. Terrorism is violence against human dignity, and it is not reconcilable with the values of democratic societies. At the regional level, Peru is committed to international peace and security. It is committed to the respect of international law and an inclusive agenda. Mr. President, I am a teacher who is convinced that if we do not use the governments of all the world to help children move forward, we will not have accomplished anything. The present is fragile for world diplomacy, particularly for multilateralism. But I believe that our collective determination will always be stronger, and I stand convinced that with the initiative of a new global agenda, we can build together a world of peace, a world of friendship, of cooperation and well-being for one and all. As a teacher, as a government, I must say this to you. Let's invest in education, in an educated people. We'll never be fooled. Thank you.